anybody from any function can become a CEO. For us to enter into profession, you need expertise, you need specialty, but that is the entrance ticket. But for us to grow, we need to, one, master those specialties and expertise, become best in that, but at the same time expand ourselves in other areas and think long term, and also able to handle things which are happening today, burning issues today. It's also looking at the small picture details, which is the job of any finance person, but at the same time to be able to see the big picture, which is you should learn while you are working as CFO. I think as CFO from a starting point grows, we need to learn all those capabilities from analysis to synthesizing, looking at patterns and trends rather than looking at the static picture. After all, CFO position is also a leadership position, and that also requires integrity, developing trust. It requires business partnership, that if you want to contribute really very well, we need to understand the requirement of other functional leaders, whether it is HR or production or sales. Unless we understand that what are their deliverables and how can we contribute as CFO to their goals, only then we can contribute better. And in that learning process, we understand business better. I think for any person to grow into a bigger role like this, it's a continuous learning process. We need to develop ourselves. We need to be able to communicate effectively in a precise manner. We need to have a vision which we can create, but at the same time we can share that vision with a bigger group and have the ability to persuade them to work towards that vision.
Thank you, sir. Alize, you represent the financial sector on this forum. You think that a CFO is a natural choice to head an organization in the financial sector, or tend to disagree with you?
I think there are definitely certain commonalities between the role of a CFO and a CEO in an organization, especially in the service sector also. I would say that a CFO's role in an organization is somewhat like many CEO's role, and I think as a CFO, first you definitely have to have a comprehensive knowledge about the finance and internal controls, but as my colleagues said, that in addition to that you have to have the knowledge of operations and the commercial aspects of the business as well. So that's a learning process, but I think CFO is definitely, CFO's position has definitely got an edge, because they have accessibility to certain information which in a normal organization other functions or departments don't have. Information, access to information, access to CEO's vision directly while directly interacting with him, access to the board and the board's philosophy and vision. So definitely I think being a CFO gives you an advantage over other functions to come and lead the organization as a CEO in future.
Thank you, Ali. Now, once the CFO graduates into the role of a CEO, especially in a marketing or a service-based organization, the obvious question that someone may ask is, how well do you know the market? How well do you know the customers? You're coming from a financial background, you've been working with numbers. So what do you know about the market? Is that a challenge? Aziz, you certainly, coming from a marketing-based service company?
I think it's definitely a challenge, and especially if it's a competitive market, like in our case, the cellular companies. You need to know your customers. And as Mr. Rohil touched in his presentation, that there are various KPIs which one needs to monitor, whether it's the brand recall or top of mind recall of your brand. So in addition to that, as a CFO, there is a requirement to know exactly what is happening in the market. I can just share with you my experience that when we launched Ufone back in year 2000, For good 3 or 4 months, there was no need. Nobody felt the need to prepare the financial statements because everything was happening for us. Subsequently, we went to like a monthly reporting. Then it was weekly reporting. And now we are to the extent, because of the comparative market that we are in, that first thing in the morning that we get is the report, which gives us to the detail of, we have say 5,400 sites. We know exactly what's the voice, SMS and different revenues on a per site basis. So we need to have that kind of detail available. Just adding to the transition from the CFO to the CEO, I won't repeat which my friends have already repeated, but given the fact that the experience, the knowledge of the business is there, to me, I think the fundamental difference between somebody, a CFO, who can move from a CFO position to the CEO position is their attitude. Most of us will admit this fact that we, as CFO, have the habit of thinking, come to me. Like, I'm the most important person in this organization, come to me and I'll resolve your problem. So as a result, most of the problems ends up on the table of the CFO. Whereas if you want to move out of this position, we need to have this attitude that yes, I am the one who will facilitate, mediate, moderate among the rest of the departments, and I will resolve the problem. So instead of managing the company, if you have the attitude of leading the company by coming up with, by first of all realizing, appreciating the problems of different departments, and coming up as the lead role where you can come up with the vision of not only solving their problems, but give them the idea, because you being the finance man, knowing the numbers and returns much better than the technical people. So you are the best person who can come up with the vision. So if you have this attitude, moving out from a CFO role to the CEO role should not be difficult. And on top of it, if you somehow can enjoy this reputation of somebody who is a facilitator, not a problem creator, because in most of the cases when you ask somebody what's happening to that project, they'll say, oh, it's stuck on CFO's desk because he wants to see the return of investment, this and this and this. So we get into this circle where we are the bad guys. So I don't want to suggest that we compromise what is required as a CFO role, but I'm just saying that if we want, because the CEO sitting in his office has got like multiple things to do in terms of government relationing, in terms of shareholders, and his plate is full. So if you as a CFO can take this role of being a moderator or facilitator among all the department heads, transition from a CFO role to the CEO role should be very easy.
Lovely, thank you. Professor, on your side, representing sort of capital goods, do you face the same competitive challenges, same mindset?
Well, let me just start by taking the advantage of being the last by being a little bit provocative. There's almost an assumption that CFOs are the natural choice for CEO, and I'm going to challenge that. Because I don't think there's empirical evidence on that one. In fact, in North America, UK, only 20% CFOs make it into CEOs. And you move outside of US and UK, it's only 5 to 10% in Europe and even in Asia. So there is a lot more. And why that is the case, I think, and I'll allude to and build up on what Khalid had said. Indeed, as far as CFO is concerned, he has the strength of being able to communicate with the stakeholders. He is naturally creating value for the shareholders. He's putting around performance measures to make sure the company succeeds. But CFOs are lousy leaders. They don't motivate people. They don't delegate. And in order to be a successful CEO, you need to make that transition. Where you're able to motivate people, and then building upon what Aziz said, you should know what your customers are. You should be on the shop floor in operations, out of the suite, the CEO suite. So those are some of the things which a CFO who's thinking of becoming a CEO should start doing the transition, hopefully before he is considered for the CEO slot. But at least I thought I'll provoke